Every generation of Jedi has their premier members. The most documented one, and most well-known one, is obviously the chosen one, Anakin Skywalker. Before him though, in the previous generation, one of the stars of the Jedi Order was Master Windu. Windu was very similar to Anakin. He had a lot of eyes on him. Eyes of the Jedi Council, in fact. Eyes that were very much concerned with him, similarly how Windu would be concerned for Skywalker in the decades later, once he was Master of the Order. Many Jedi believed that Mace Windu had a strong aptitude to turn to the dark side, and were concerned with what would become of the young Jedi Knight. Today, we will discuss Yoda's greatest fear about Mace Windu, and how he was very fearful of the potential of a knight of Windu's caliber. First though, I would like to put the word out there that I'm currently looking for a writer or a video editor over at my Marvel channel, with the writing position being the more urgent one. This is obviously a paid position if you would like to be a part of the team, and if you would like to get paid to write scripts over at the Marvel channel. So if you're interested in writing about Marvel for a living, be sure to check out the further details in the description down below. And if you're interested and have some work that you've done before, please share it with the email down below. If you're interested, please reach out, again using that same email, and I look forward to hearing from a lot of you guys. Anyway, let's continue with the video. Mace Windu was seemingly a very faithful Jedi Knight, but the Jedi Council were very concerned with him, as Windu himself had brought concerns to the Council, that being that he had emotions and feelings that were unbecoming of a Jedi Master, something that Yoda identified in the young man nearly immediately. His major issue was how much Mace Windu actually enjoyed being in the heat of combat and a battle. Many Council members of Yoda shared this same opinion, fearing that at any moment, Windu had the potential to embrace the dark side. If he had become too riled up in the heat of battle, perhaps the darkness and the power that it offered becoming too alluring for the Knight. The Council believed that he may one day turn on the Jedi and go rogue. If this had been an ordinary Jedi Knight, the Council would have reacted more calmly, but it was because of the inherent power that Windu displayed that caused great concern among the Order. It cannot be understated that Windu was no average or ordinary Jedi Knight, and if a Jedi Knight of his magnitude fell to the darkness, there would be massive repercussions. They feared that if Windu were ever to give in to his desires of the love of pure combat, that the Jedi may in fact be creating their ultimate enemy. Ironically, a sentiment that Windu would share about Skywalker. Windu was very aggressive and determined in every single task that he undertook, whether it be his studies on the Republic and the Force itself, or within sparring sessions or the missions that he was sent on. Windu was hard on himself as well as others, holding himself to an extremely high standard. Windu was a warrior of the light, but importantly, he distinguished himself as a warrior, a lover of pure carnal combat, a concerning sentiment as it is a Jedi's job to maintain peace and order. This was a major concern, as not only was Windu fascinated with combat and battle, but he was extremely gifted at it. Windu would even personally bring this concern to the Jedi Council, feeling that he should not hide the fact that the darkness pulled at him, and that he loved the heat of battle, and may even be considered fascinated by it. Windu was the greatest lightsaber duelist among the Jedi Order, at the time his equals only being Grandmaster Yoda and Master Dooku. As time progressed, however, Windu would prove his loyalty to the Jedi and the Republic, as beyond his love of battle, his love for the Republic always came first. Yoda would go on to teach and mentor Windu, stating that the path to the dark side began with small steps, and although enjoying the heat of battle was not inherently dark in emotion, or did not mean that Windu would one day embrace the philosophy of perhaps a darker order, it was cause for concern. In response to this, Yoda allowed Mace Windu to accept within himself that he loved battle, and accept within himself that he was not a perfect Jedi. In Windu's response, he created a variation of Form 7 lightsaber combat, known as Vapaad, an integral part of the form being that an individual had to revel in the art of combat. They had to be aware of the darkness within themselves, and they had to, in a sense, use it. It was only because Windu was aware of this and had acknowledged this that Yoda allowed him to experiment in the form. As Windu perfected Form 7, Yoda's teachings and words would echo in his mind. Remember, a Jedi fights only as a last resort. If you are forced to draw your lightsaber, you have already forfeited much of your advantage. A Jedi trusts the Force, and at first seeks other ways to resolve problems. Patience, logic, tolerance, attentive listening, negotiations, calming techniques. With that said, there are always times when a Jedi must fight. Windu responded in kind. Vapaad is more than a fighting style. It is a state of mind. A state of mind that leads through the penumbra of the dark side. It was once Windu had created and perfected Vapaad that he silenced the concerns of Yoda as well as the rest of the Jedi Council. Besides the fact that Windu had already been called to the Jedi Council. In fact, besides Skywalker, he was the youngest Jedi to ever sit upon the Council. This does not change the fact, though, that the Jedi of the generation prior feared the great potential of Windu to turn to the dark side, and feared what he may one day become, what Anakin Skywalker would become. But what are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on Yoda's greatest fear of Windu? Was this fear at all justified by Yoda? And what are your thoughts on how Windu ultimately quelled his inner darkness? Again, my friends, if you're interested in the writing or video editing position, please reach out to the email in the description below. As always, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.